Hello everyone. Welcome back to Alchemy with Zero Phase. I'm your host Eric, and wanted to do a tutorial here. Yesterday I was messing around with my prompt generator and Controlnet using the soft edge uh, submodel or oh, God, can't even pull the word out of my head. Anyway, so I did this YouTube short where I just kind of showed off what I was doing, and I got some comments back saying, "Do a tutorial. We'd love to see this." And so, what you're seeing here is that's not the original image. Let me see if I can pull up the original image here. Where are we here? So what we're doing is taking an image, and we're going to create a wide variety of variations of that image using Controlnet. Okay, so give it a second. It's loading this up here. I got a directory that's got just a ton of images I got to sort through. So what I did is I took this image, and using it as a basis, started creating variations. Okay, and as you can see, keeping the same style, well, not style, but the pose. And I'm not even using open pose for this. So we're just using one of the Controlnet models called Soft Edge, and going through and creating different themes of the same character for the most part. There's some slight subtle differences in the face, but not much. So what I want to do is go through and show you what I've done or how I did this, and just basically share my knowledge on that. So let's dive into this. So the first thing we did is we start off with a base model or a base prompt. And what I want to do here is let's go back up here. Let's grab this. Let's take this out. I was working on another one using buildings, and I was creating a series of prompts. So I created a base prompt that gave me a scene of an old village, way back maybe 1,000 years ago or whatever. And then using my prompt generator, I asked it to create prompts that would display the same village or scene, but in different time periods, showing a progression of advancement. And it was cool. I mean, it worked out. It worked out better than I thought it would. So let's dive into this. We're going to do since people were really interested in the character. That's one that people love. Obviously, everybody loves a pretty woman. So let's just do that. Let's do. We're going to create the base prompt. So prompt. No, we don't even need to do that. Beautiful woman standing in a. You know what? Let's do this. Hold on. Portrait of a beautiful woman standing in a temple. We're going to keep this prompt real basic, nothing special about it. Let it create the prompt for that. We're going to take that over to Stable Diffusion. And for this, we're going to be using the Zovia RPG Artist tool. I downloaded one of the most recent ones that has the VAE baked in, so we don't have to actually select the VAE that normally would go with it. We're going to paste this in here. We're going to select a portrait negative prompt. They're all my negative prompts are pretty much the same. Each one has slight customizations based on the type of content. I have my prime negative, which I could use for anything, but we're going to use the portrait one. And for those who want to see, let's go ahead and throw that up there for you. Okay. And just for time's sake, we're going to lower that down to 20 steps. We're going to open this up to a wide format. We're going to go to 960, but I also want to change this to a 16:9 format. this model, the RPG Artist tool, when you go to Civet AI, it says it's a 1.5 base model, or I mean, based off the 1.5 Stable Diffusion model. It works with these higher resolutions. I'm actually surprised. So I don't know what they did to it or how they changed it. So we're going to just do 2. We're going to see if we can get a good result out of that. If we have to re-render a couple times to get 1 to work with, that's fine. So let's go ahead and pull this out. Okay, so we got some results here. They're statues, which that's not what I'm looking for. And I think part of the problem is, let's see, if we're understanding and serene temples, all by delicate features. We're going to change this prompt. I forgot to tell it not to do an artist. We're going to specify digital illustration. Re-render that. See what we get here. There we go. That's better. Much better. Those, we could actually work with those. Actually, those would be great. Wow. Okay. So now let's take this scene here. We got this pretty girl standing in a temple. It looks kind of, Greek, whatever. But we have some good structure. We have the columns, background, some various other things. But the person is really well put together, very focused and centered in the image. So we're going to take that and what we're going to do is we're going to save this out. Actually, no, we don't have to save it. We can pull it from over here. Okay, so what we want to do, I want to see this person in different styles of temples or religious places. Okay, I don't know, the names for all the different places like that. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this prompt here, go back over to my prompt generator. We're going to come in here and we're going to say, please actually, let's see, how do we want to do this? Yeah, we're going to do this. So we're going to do 10 prompts. Oh, hold on. 10 prompts. Rewrite the following prompt, keeping the character, changing the type of religious setting to 10 different religious themes. Okay. See if this works. There was a different way I wrote it before. Now we're going to paste that prompt in there as an example. Let's see what it does here. Okay. See what it does here. Portrait of a radiant woman standing in a serene Buddhist monastery. Okay. Hindu temple, Christian cathedral, Islamic mosque, Jewish synagogue, Sikh Gurdwara, Taoist temple, and Shinto shrine. So we're going to continue, let it finish those up. Now, as this builds this, for those of you who don't know, who are not using my prompt generator, this is a highly customized ChatGPT script that I've developed that allows me to give it some very sophisticated requests, and it will build very structured prompts based on this. Now, I've asked it to do multiple prompts. And in doing so, it knows to, because of the way I do my pictures in Stable Diffusion, I have it set to create a folder. In the settings, there's a setting you can go into that says create a folder and use the first 8 characters of the prompt as the folder name. Now, the problem with that is because I'm using this standard beginning to almost all my prompts, the images that it generates have a tendency to all go in the same folder. So I've got a folder out there that has something like 3,000 images in it. It makes it very difficult to sort through that and figure out what's what. And I decided one of the features of my prompt generator I wanted to add was the ability that if I request multiple prompts, what it does is it assigns a unique ID to the beginning, and that way when it creates the folder, any images I create with these prompts will go into that folder and only those images. Okay, so that's just one of the cool features of my prompt generator. So this is awesome. It gave us the basic descriptions of each one with different religious settings. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, I'm going to copy that out, head back over to Stable Diffusion here. We're going to get rid of this base prompt here, and we're going to come down. We're going to drop that to 1. We're going to keep all these settings here, but we're going to come down here to Controlnet, okay? And we're going to take that image that we generated that we liked. We're going to drop that in there like that. We're going to enable this, do pixel perfect. We're going to allow a preview, and then we're going to come down here to the control type. I love how they've changed this so that they give you these presets, so you're not having to come down here and guess like which preprocessor and then which model to use, and you just basically pick which one you want. So for this one, we're going to do soft edge. We're going to do a previewer so you can see what it looks like. So what it's doing is it's eliminating all the information except for a lot of the refined details of this. Now, this will give you the exact same image every time, you know, with the obviously the variations in like clothing, but not much. Like it'll keep. See if we can zoom in on this. So, I mean, it'll keep the, you know, the structure of the clothing too, but I want some variation in that. I want some variation in the columns too. And with Controlnet, the way you do that, let's drop this back down, okay, is you come down here, and we have some settings in Controlnet that give you flexibility in, or that gives the AI flexibility in what it's doing with your image. So the control weight is basically telling the AI, if you go high, I really want you to retain the features being presented in the this preview here. Okay, the lower this number, if you go below 1, it's saying, hey, I'm going to give you some freedom to be creative with this. Obviously, keep the same basic structure, but you're going to have some freedom to explore around that. And with these images, the ones I did before, I kind of gave it some freedom. I'm going to put it down to 0.5. And then the other thing you want to look at is the, so you have these two settings, starting control step and ending control step. Now think of these as telling the AI, hey, this is when I want you to actually start doing the Controlnet thing versus this is when I want you to end doing the Controlnet thing, based on like a percentage of the way through the generation of the image. So like if I set this to 0.3, that means it's not even going to start doing anything with this until 30% through the generation. Okay, this one right here, if I set it down to 0.4, it'll basically say, I want you to stop utilizing Controlnet at about 40% through the generation, and then everything after that is giving the AI freedom to just continue rendering how it would normally would. Okay, so for these, I'm going to set it at 0.5. For the weight. I wanted to give it some freedom, obviously, to explore these themes that we're going to be doing. And then and I really want it to give it the ability, after it's built up the structure, we've got the character there, I want it to have a little bit of time to explore some of the more refined details around that. So we're going to put this at 0.7. Okay, we'll see what that looks like. This is obviously something that you adjust until you get what you like. So we're going to do that. Let's see what we got here. And then we're going to come down to the script. We're going to enable prompts from file or text box. This allows us to put in multiple prompts. Let's go over here and make sure we got this copied. I'm going to paste those in there. Now, when you're copying and pasting stuff out of ChatGPT, if it ever asks you to continue, you got to be aware that it puts a line break in here. So where it asks me to continue, I just got to come in here, put this right here and hit backspace twice to combine that prompt into one prompt. So this plugin or this script, what it does is it reads a list of prompts. Now it doesn't necessarily need to be separated by space. There just has to be, I think, a line break. So I mean, I have my prompt generator set up to generate these in such a way that it does put the space so that I can see each individual prompt. Okay. All right. So I think we've got this all set up. let's come up here. Let's just double check a few of these settings. We're doing 16 by 9, 20 steps, SD, DPM plus SD Karas. Got our negative prompt. We're not putting any kind of a positive prompt. It wouldn't, even if we did have something in there, it would ignore it and focus only on the prompts we have down here in the list of prompts. Okay, so let's go ahead and hit this, see what it comes up with here. This was really fun coming and figuring this out with my prompt generator, being able to say, hey, give me some different themes around this or around that, or I don't know, just different things that you could do with it. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the variation I want here. I mean, it's obviously changing some things, but it looks like it's retaining a lot of the same the original structure, which I don't really want. I want to actually get some really good variation. Let's stop that. Come down. Come on. Give it a second. There we go. Okay. So let's come back down here. I really want to give it some freedom. So we're going to drop the control weight down here to, I think, 0.2. And because it really does focus on this, you know, the soft edge image, whatever you want to call it, it does focus on it. And then I'm also going to bring the ending control step down. Okay, let's go ahead and try that again. See if we get the variation I'm looking for. Obviously, you know, we were getting images that looked different, which was cool. Okay, it's just about to finish up here, so we're going to go through this and see what kind of variation we got here. But let's see what we got. We got a Buddhist monastery, Hindu temple, Christian cathedral, Islamic mosque. Okay, a bunch of others. So let's go ahead and see what it is we got. So there's that one. And what it does, it actually puts a, you know, the preview of the soft edge map there as well. So and it is giving some pretty good variation. It looks like a Christian cathedral. Is that the mosque? I don't remember. So yeah, it's keeping the same basic person there and replacing the theme and changing the theme around. I mean, these are gorgeous. I mean, this gives you the ability to explore any theme you want. And what's awesome about this is you don't even need to know the name. Like, if you generally know what it is you want, you know, you could go through, you know, with ChatGPT and my Stable Diffusion prompt generator, you have the ability of putting in, hey, I would love 10 themes on this, or 10 variations, or 10 different colors. You know, we could go in here and say, instead of changing the religious setting, rewrite the following prompts giving the character, but changing the, let's say the color. Actually, let's do changing the type of clothing and color. As you notice, it does. So this one here, I'm going to redo this one because it, depending on what you're throwing in up here, it will change this. So it's giving a unique ID to each prompt, and I don't want that. So I actually want to keep it the same as my other one. So what we're going to do, just to ensure that we get the same one, we're going to come back here. We're going to grab that ID. Come back over here. Using the label. Okay. And it should label each one with that same one. So all the images will go into the same folder. Okay, so now what we got? We got a portrait of a vibrant woman standing in a majestic cathedral. So let's do this. I want to keep the same place. Changing the type of clothing and color. It's in a serene temple. Keeping the character and location the same. Okay, so portrait of a glowing woman standing in a peaceful temple, gentle illumination highlighting her refined features, showcasing her inner harmony. Okay, so portrait of highlighting her refined features, glowing, peaceful. Okay, we're not getting the color here, so let's see. What do we got to change on this? Oh. 10 different types of clothing. Actually, with AI you got to be specific. You got to specify specific. So specific clothing and 10 different colors. Yeah, I'm still learning a lot of this too. But having the prompt generator as a tool gives you a lot of capabilities. So let's see, portrait of a radiant woman standing in a serene temple, soft light illuminating her delicate features, capturing her inner quality, wearing an elegant ball gown in a royal blue hue, digital illustration. Okay, perfect. So we get flowing white dress with a subtle lavender. Okay, we got vibrant red gown. Okay, so it is doing color and different types of clothing. Let's continue, get the rest of those prompts out there. I apologize. I think there's some background noise from our washing machine. Okay, so let's copy that. Come back over to Stable Diffusion here. We're going to replace all this. Make sure we fix the one here, keeping a space there. Backspace a couple times. And then we're going to keep the same base image, okay? And let's, where is the, okay, so this here, we're going to keep the structure more, but we're going to give the AI a little more freedom earlier on to see if we can't change, like make sure the color changes and the type of dress changes. So let's put that at 0.5. And 42% of the way through, the AI will just start changing what it thinks. Okay. And hit generate. Okay, awesome. So it finished the rendering, and here's our first image, which it asked for blue. I think it was like, I don't remember the exact term. Let's see. Elegant ball gown and royal blue. Yeah, royal blue. Very beautiful. So now we'll go through each one of these here just to see. So look at the face. The face stays the same. Hands are changing just a little bit. I love this model. It does a great job with hands, so you don't end up with the totally mutilated hands. But watch the theme change, the color, even the type of dress as it goes through and changes that theme. Just beautiful how it does that. Controlnet is awesome. Like, that was a game changer when they introduced that. Giving us a lot more control, not just getting random images all the time, and allowing us to explore different things. And being able to use my prompt generator has been amazing too, because it comes up with words and descriptions that I never would have thought of. And I've learned a lot from that. People say that AI is going to cause people to be dumber, and I'm going to disagree. Obviously it makes certain tasks easier, but through proofreading. See, here's the thing: I proofread almost everything that I generate, and I'm learning things. I'm learning new words and knowledge that I never knew before. So it's been a very fascinating thing to go through. So, yeah, there's that. Obviously, you can explore a lot of different things. You can change, whatever you want. In the descriptions, I love being able to generate lots of different prompts. I could have specified 20 prompts, 50 prompts, whatever, and let it go through and generate that. Throw those all in there, generate 4 images per scene, and come up with 200 images, all differently themed, different images, but around that same character. So again, if you have not tried my prompt generator, I do have it up, and yes, I do sell it. I realize how valuable it is. I'm a business owner. And those who have bought it and used it absolutely love it. You can read the reviews we had originally on our Etsy store. I put them up on our new store. and join our Discord and talk to the people who are using it. They love it. This is not like other prompt generators. This is not a bot pre-programmed with only a specific set of information. This is a stable diffusion, excuse me, a ChatGPT script that tells ChatGPT to act a certain way, gives it certain rules and guidelines on how to generate a proper stable diffusion prompt. So, and you can do a lot of things like adding details. I mean, seriously, we could come in here and say, let's add a little bit more detail to this. Add a little more detail to each prompt about the type of clothing. Be specific. Okay. And it'll go through and rewrite each prompt, adding some more details. I actually went back and redid that, asking it to keep the same clothing type and color of the clothing, but adding more details. And as you can see here, on the first one, originally asked for a, if you come up here, we can see it asked for an elegant ball gown, royal blue. But the next one, adding more detail, says she's dressed in a flowing evening gown with an elegant ball gown silhouette adorned with intricate lace details and a shimmering royal blue hue, creating a regal and timeless look. So you could take that and give the AI a little more freedom with the image, and it will give you a lot more detail to it as well. Now, obviously, Stable Diffusion pays more attention to what's up at the beginning versus the end, but these will come out. So yeah, and we just hit continue on that to get that. So there it is. If you haven't yet, subscribe, turn on notifications. I do come out with videos on a pretty regular basis. I'm not like one of these big professional YouTubers that has a schedule. I'm trying to work towards that, but I really appreciate the subscribers I have, those who follow me, those who have joined our Discord, those who have bought my prompt generator and given their feedback on it. I really appreciate it. I'm looking forward to doing more tutorials like this. If you guys have requests, would love to see something else, I'll do what I can. We'll talk to you later. Thanks again.